Good relations between Warsaw and Washington are a pillar of Poland's security. An attempt to harm them is being made by Germany, which, in an effort to push the United States out of Europe, is trying to tear up Polish-Americans' arms contracts.
Part of those shared values and understanding of what we share together from a security standpoint. And I think we should do everything we can to increase that relationship and not to break it up. And I wouldn't listen to the Germans on pretty much anything.
A resolution supposedly to strengthen our security has passed through the European Parliament like a storm. A noble idea, but the devil is in the detail. Manfred Weber, the chairman of the European People's Party, of which Civic Platform is a member, says outright that there must be a special body to control national armies. Joint arms purchases must become an obligation. New armament should come mainly from European companies. We need a common missile and drone defence and our own satellite system. A centre of excellence for innovation based on artificial intelligence is essential. In addition, within the NATO structure, we need to create a joint European military command. A European Chief of Staff should command modernised national armies and make decisions on arms purchases. This means that the Polish military would lose its sovereignty and be dependent on the decisions of the European Union, or rather, Germany. A country that does not control its own army becomes a mere shell. There is no doubt that this is the implementation of this very anti-Polish decision of the European Union and the decision of the Civic Platform, and in the same a week ago, the scandalous decision to liquidate the army and to liquidate the Polish state. Manfred Weber's words coincide dangerously with reports in Germany's Die Tageszeitung. The newspaper, citing sources in the Polish government, argues that Poland is considering breaking arms contracts with the United States. While Poland's left Liberal government, led by Donald Tusk, is trying to salvage what can be salvaged and openly stressing the importance of the US-Poland-NATO alliance partnership, it is internally conducting a review of which US weapon systems would work in a crisis situation, even without continued US support. Germany seeks to have the countries of the old continent buy military equipment exclusively in Europe and thus drive the European, or rather German, economy. Because the practice is that it is the German concern Rheinmetall that will gain the most from this. And this is at the expense of the Polish-American military contracts. So, this means that the Polish taxpayers' hard-earned money will go into the German arms industry, and the equipment ordered from Germany will arrive in Poland in a dozen years or so. Poland needs to arm itself now. There is no time for this kind of experimentation. Even long before the parliamentary elections, Donald Tusk's team announced that some of the contracts modernising the Polish army would be scrapped. If we have the strength and courage, I say with all responsibility, to talk about it today and then get to these agreements, some may have to be reduced as to the number of declared purchases, such as those famous 500 HIMARS. 500 HIMARS, 120 Polish Krabs, 600 Korean howitzers. There's no such army in the world that has that much. For what? Germany has been pursuing a policy of pushing the United States out of Europe for decades. Now, as reported in the Financial Times, Berlin is planning to get rid of American troops from the old continent within this decade. And it is the United States that has repeatedly declared its support for Poland.
I'm very committed to Poland. I think Poland has really stepped up and done a great job for NATO. As you know, they paid more than they had to. They are one of the finest groups of people I've ever known. I'm very committed to Poland.
Poland has armed itself mightily in fear of Russian imperialism. Contracts for state-of-the-art US and Korean equipment could now be broken, and that could damage our crucial transatlantic relationship. Cooperation with the United States should be a priority for Polish authorities, because the United States is the leader of the North Atlantic Alliance. Attempts to push America out of Europe fatally threaten Poland's security. The war in Ukraine has visibly demonstrated that Europe, without the support of the United States, is not ready to clash with Russian imperialism. Not long ago, we heard in the Union about the need to build a green, low-carbon military. With such priorities, independence cannot be defended.